10. He's got a chance at a 30-point triple-double in the third quarter. A chance for 30. There it is! Three-pointer Doncic, 99-62 Mavericks.
You heard it from Mark Kessler on ESPN Radio. Luka Doncic got his 21st 30-point triple-double, tying Wilt Chamberlain for fifth most in NBA history. Luka's like 12 years old. How'd he do that so fast? Meanwhile, the Lakers stumbled out of play-in position after a 128-110 loss to the Dallas Mavericks. LA gave up 82 in the first half. Most points the Lakers team has given up in a first half since the franchise moved to LA. In 1960, Roger Goodell made it clear on Tuesday that Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson could still be disciplined under the league's personal conduct policy. At the conclusion of the NFL's league meeting, Roger Goodell said Watson is still under investigation by the NFL for potential violations. League investigator Lisa Friel is overseeing the investigation, which Goodell said has no timetable for a conclusion. And five-time Masters champion Tiger Woods, who's trying to come back from serious leg and foot injuries, played 18 holes at Augusta National Golf Club on Tuesday at 46 years old, that is. Woods played with his son Charlie and PGA pro Justin Thomas. Tiger hadn't played in a regular PGA Tour event since the 2020 Masters. I'm talking about these stories and more on This Just In Today, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. SportsCenter is brought to you by O'Reilly. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and known for guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
2-1 to Pujols, driven to left, and it's deep. It is way back there, and Albert Pujols has hit it out. And everybody's standing and applauding in St. Louis.
Yes, this is it for me. This is my last run. This is probably the last uniform that I will wear in the big leagues.
Keyshawn, J. Willimax, ESPN, Radio Sirius XM Channel 80. Chris Canty in for Key today. And we have Oliver Marmol, Ollie Marmol, St. Louis Cardinals manager, with us right now. Skip, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So when did you, something blew my mind the other day, okay? I used to geek out when EA Sports, when they released Madden, but they'd release the baseball game, right?
EA Sports.
MVP 2005 baseball was the last one they released because you could put it in franchise mode and be a GM, right? So, Ollie, Skip, they had on Adam Wainwright came up to the majors right around then. Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols. They were all on the same team by 05, 06. Skip, you got these three guys still in your first year as Cardinals manager on your team. It's a mind blower. When did you realize that Pujols was re-signing with the Cardinals, or even that was a possibility?
Man, we were discussing it for the last week or so, and it got real the last few days. But the possibility of that, we never closed that door. Our front office was excited about it. Ownership was excited about it. Our staff and the players. This is an awesome move, not only for the city of St. Louis, but for all of baseball.
Skip, I'm curious to hear from you on how you envision his role, right? Because how you manage expectations, I think, are very important for a player of his caliber. But also, how do you keep him on the field for 162 games as well?
Yeah, we've had great discussions with everybody included. We've collaborated on what Albert's role looks like. And at the end of the day, he's coming here to help us win. And that's him being able to contribute at a lot of different levels. When you think of Albert, this is a guy that, yes, he killed left-handed pitching last year. There's some matchups that are going to be really, really good for him as well. But what he's able to do in that clubhouse, along with his skill set, is absolutely unbelievable. And we're excited for both of those things, his ability to contribute and help us win a World Series, as well as his ability to mentor the next group of guys that are coming through here that are going to help us win for a long time.
Talking with St. Louis managers Ollie Marmol on KJM. And Ollie, one of the things that I'm envisioning is Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt and Tyler O'Neill, and then Albert Pujols in that lineup as a designated hitter. And I just wanted to ask you, from your perspective, How do you anticipate the designated hitter being in the National League now impacting your team, how you deploy your lineup, and then also the strategy that you're going to use throughout the season in terms of being able to manage all the moving parts?
Absolutely. It's a big reason why we went out and got Corey Dickerson and why we got Albert, to be able to use those two accordingly. But when I look at 162 games, we're going to have the ability to use Nolan and get him off his feet, but still have his bat in the lineup. We're going to be able to do the same thing with Goldie over at first and let Albert play first and let Goldie get off his feet for a game or two and also keep his bat in the lineup. We'll be able to rotate some guys in and out where it's a little bit of rest, but we still benefit from seeing 4 at-bats from them. So it'll be a rotation of guys that come through there, and we'll be smart about keeping all of our guys healthy for 162. But it adds a different element of strategy for sure.
Oliver, you guys are part of one of the most die-hard baseball towns in this country. And I'm curious to hear from you what you think the impact of the lockout could be on the sport in general.
Yeah, it was an interesting offseason. There was points in the offseason where I had no idea if we were coming back this year. And, gosh, it was great to finally get that phone call and realize that we were going to be able to sit down with the players face-to-face and start the game plan again and do the spring training thing and then head out to the season. Thankfully, they were able to figure it out in a way where it didn't impact the games of the season. So thankfully for the fans, for the sport, for the players, for everybody involved, it was able to get figured out before it got ugly.
Skip, just want to get back to one thing. Do you see Dickerson and Pujols as like a platoon DH situation? You mentioned Pujols hits the lefties, and you got a left-handed bat. That's why you mentioned the DH. That's why you guys got Pujols and Dickerson.
Yeah, I see both of those guys being used in the way you just described. I think there's opportunities depending on matchup for us to veer from that. So at the end of the day, both of those guys, I mean, let's get serious here. I understand the analytics behind everything, but these guys could still hit their own hand in this, right? Like Pujols could still take a righty deep, and Dickerson could take a great at bat against the lefty. So it'll be matchup, game to game. But when I think of the DH spot, both of those guys will be able to platoon and give us a really good at bat in order to win.
Skip, tell us about what you're doing with Versus and the impact it's having on sports, please.
Absolutely. My wife and I are super excited as to what our team at Versus is building. We basically wanted to build a tool for the next generation of athletes, their parents and coaches to not only learn from some of the greatest minds out there, but to be able to have conversation and interact with them, right? If I think of some of the most meaningful conversations I've had in my career that have propelled me forward, where I've left with more direction and confidence, it's the ones where I'm sitting across from someone that has already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and they're speaking into the things that I gave them success. They're walking me through some of their fears and doubts, and I've been able to sit there and in mid-conversation, stop them and say, hey, can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me about your fears? How'd you navigate that? Can you tell me about your biggest doubts and how you navigated that? So this app mimics that perfectly, where you can take an hour-and-a-half course from Albert. You can take an hour-and-a-half course from Jessica Mendoza, Jenny Finch, and at any point stop them and ask them up to 500 questions and get responses to it in real time.
Ollie Marmol, that's the new manager of your St. Louis Cardinals. Big responsibility. The Cardinals are every 15 years are like a game under 500, and otherwise they win about 90-something games a season. Youngest manager in Major League Baseball at 35. Good luck, Skip. Looking forward to watching